All my single ladies who are dating with a purpose, raise your hands up. Hi, my name is Erica J. Holston, and I am Coach Honey Love. I am coming to you live and in person. I'm so excited to talk with you today about 3 ways to know you should be dating a man and when to let go. So, when it comes to being a single woman who is positioning herself as a future wife on the dating scene, I know some of the challenges that you can face. Every day, I help single ladies like you overcome your dating obstacles. The purpose of this live is to encourage you and to give you dating strategies when it comes to how to know when you should give a man your time and your attention, okay? Because when it comes to dating, again, it could be challenging, yet it could be very rewarding, especially if you have met your future husband. And that's what we are here to talk about, right? You positioning yourself as a wife and for you to meet your future husband. So I'm going to give you some basics when it comes to dating. These tips are some things that I teach in my Honey Love Dating Academy, and I'm just in a giving mood, and I just want to share with you some tips. And so many ladies feel like when they are dating alone, and I want you to know that you are not dating alone, that there is support, there is encouragement, and there are dating strategies for you to meet your future husband, as well as how to know you have actually met him. So when it comes to how to know you should be dating a man, let me first start off with this. You have to know what you want. You have to know the qualities that you want in a man. And don't say, I want him to have all the sixes, 6 foot tall, six figures with a six pack. Okay, like that's a good start, but I love helping single ladies dig a little deeper when it comes to dating for marriage. So what about you? What are some things that you want in a marriage minded man? What are some things that you want in your future husband? Because I'm quite sure, okay, that you have learned a thing or two when it comes to being in a previous relationship, or if you've gotten a divorce. There are some relationship lessons that you have learned, and it may cause you to look at men a certain way, and it may cause you to want certain qualities within your future husband. So some of the qualities that I encourage single ladies to have is a man who is stable, a family man, a man who loves God, a man who is teachable, a man who listens, who has effective communication skills, a man who wants to take care of you and who wants what's best for you. And that is just the start of some qualities that you want to see in a man. Not only that, as far as like him verbalizing and him saying that he is those things, but more importantly, what he does and how does he demonstrate those things to you, plus him being consistent with you. Because listen, I know some ladies have been love bombed. I know some single ladies have went through the ringer and have said, you know what, I'm tired of dating. But today you are here. You are here to listen to this message. I am going to help you. I want to give you dating strategies, how to know when you should be dating a man and when should you let him go? So let's go ahead and get into today's message. Number one, it is compatibility over chemistry. And when it comes to compatibility over chemistry, you can see a man and he can approach you the right way. He can have the right tone. He can do the right things. You may feel a connection with him as far as his demeanor and the way that you have conversations. There may be a good mesh when it comes to the chemistry between you and him. And so when it comes to that, like, you really got to be careful of just looking at the chemistry, how he makes you feel, what he says, and all of those things. Like, you really got to be careful of putting chemistry before compatibility. Compatibility goes a little deeper. It involves your values. It involves what you believe. It involves with how you want a man to make you feel. It involves with a connection that is undeniable, that you should be with this type of man. So when it comes to the compatibility, I'm going to encourage you, okay? I'm going to encourage you to do compatibility over chemistry each and every time, because I just remember when I was a single woman dating, I would see a man, he would have swag, he would look nice, he would know how to talk, he would know how to treat me, he would know how to buy me gifts and all of these things. And all of that was okay. But when it came to carrying on a conversation, when it came to being able to show up, be present, when it came to him proving to me that he wanted to pursue me, that was a different level of dating. And we went beyond the surface level. So, of course, there were men who I wasn't compatible with. And the only true man that I have ever been compatible with is my husband. And we've been married this year going on 12 years. Right now it's 11. And in June, we will have been married for 12 years. But what I'm saying to you is, when it comes to dating, you have to look at how compatible you are with him, because later are the days of you settling for less. Later are the days where saying, oh, he's good for good enough. Later are the days where I just want companionship, and that's that, and I'm tired of waiting. I get it, okay? But when it comes to dating, if you want to know if you should be dating a man, number one, definitely look at the compatibility. Like, how are you compatible with him? And are you willing to look beyond the surface level? Because listen, when you are willing to look beyond the surface level and get a little deeper, you are definitely going to learn more about him. And if he's okay with you getting to know him, listen, he is not going to have a problem with you getting to know him. When a man wants to hide, when he wants to be inconsistent, when he doesn't want to do the things that a man should do, by showing up, by being present, by being consistent, by letting you know that he's interested in you, letting you know that he wants you to get to know him. A man, a marriage-minded man, does not have any reason to hide anything from you, because he knows how serious a future marriage is. So if that's you, of course he wants to get to know you, and of course he wants you to get to know him. Alright, so number two is that, girl, I know that I have some praying ladies on here, okay? And you've been praying to God, and you've been doing the inner work. So number two is that he is an answered prayer. Like, there is something special about him. There is a connectivity about him that is unexplainable, and you feel like God has approved him to be in your life, okay? Because listen, God is not going to send you no mess. God is not going to send you a Mr. Wrong. If anything, honey, he is going to send you a Mr. Right, a man who wants to treat you right, a man who wants to do right by you, a man who has good intentions, a man who puts a smile on your face, and a man who wants to make your life better with him. So if he is an answered prayer, and if you look at some of the things that you have been praying to God about, okay, and you haven't been telling him too much of your business, okay, because listen, you cannot tell a man too much, all the things you want in a man. No, ma'am. He has to prove those things to you. He has to have those actions and to show you that he is that type of guy. So don't try to spoon feed him what you want, and then he becomes all those things, and then if he gets what he wants, then he leaves you, and that's not what you want. You want a man who is willing to show you a commitment. You want a man who wants to treat you right, who wants to do right by you, who wants to do right by you with God. Okay? Because if he is an answered prayer, and you know what you've been praying for, you know you've been probably praying, Lord, I don't want a free headache. Lord, I don't want another heartache. Lord, I want him to be good for me, and I want to be good for him. And God is going to show you signs that he is actually the one for you. So you aren't going to have to worry if he is the right type of man, because guess what? He's going to be an answered prayer. And that is going to let you know the type of man that you should be dating, the type of man that you should be giving your time, your effort, and your energy to, because later are the days of you wasting your time. Later are the days where a man can't make up his mind. Come on now. Like, who has time for that? You don't. I know you don't. I know you've been through some things. I know that you're tired of men who are playing games, and you are ready for your husband to find you, okay? So if he is a man and he is an answered prayer, and you feel like God has approved this type of man to be in your life, like that is God's way of giving you the green light that you should be dating him. And when you date God's way, you cannot go wrong, okay? Like, I remember when I was a single woman, when I was doing things my way, and I just felt like, yeah, so, I want this type of guy, and I want to be able to date and go here and do this and do that. And God wasn't involved with my dating journey in that specific time frame. But when I had invited Jesus into my dating experience, that's when my dating experience changed. That's when things started to get more serious. That's when marriage-minded men would come to me. And so I was only in a specific relationship for only 6 months. That didn't last. And the next man that I had met after I started dating God's way, it was my husband. So I am grateful for everything that I have been through. I am grateful for everything leading up to that. And I hope that this is an encouraging word for you when it comes to dating. So you don't have to give up. You don't have to throw in the towel. You don't have to say, girl, I'm burnt out on dating. Like, when you date God's way, when a man is an answered prayer, when you've been praying, when you've been seeking the Lord, listen, he is not going to lead or guide you in the wrong direction. He is always going to lead and guide you in the right direction, and he is going to allow the right man, your future husband, to find you. And you as a woman, you have to position yourself as a wife, okay? Not a girlfriend. You definitely don't want to position yourself as a girlfriend. You want to position yourself as a wife. All right? So, number 3 is, and this is a special tip to me. Again, when I started to date God's way, and I really started to ask God, show me a sign that I should be giving a man my time, my prayer was, Lord, do not awake my love for any man until you are pleased with me and until you are pleased with him. So, the first day, y'all, the first day I met my future husband, there was a undeniable connection because God showed me a sign that I should be with this man. Okay? Like, there was a feeling within my stomach that I could not deny that this man was going to be my future husband. So my third tip is there's going to be a special connection that is not deniable, and this man is going to make you feel better than any other man has made you feel. Now, you have to be willing to wait for this type of man to come into your life. Like, he is worth the wait, and so are you. He is worth the wait, and so are you. You have to be willing to say, you know what, God, I'm going to wait on you this time, okay? Because I want to get it right. And I know that this was my story of wanting to get it right this time. Is everything perfect? No, ma'am. But I will say that when you have a God-centered dating experience, when you have a God-centered marriage, things just seem to flow easier. Because I remember when I was in a situationship/relationship with a man that I should not have been involved with, okay? I just felt like it was just an uphill climb, challenge after challenge. And I just felt like, there was no abundance in the relationship. There was only depletion. Like, oh, gimme, take. And I wasn't operating in my femininity at that time. But baby, listen, okay? Like, I have no problem being a feminine woman. I have no problem operating in my femininity as a married woman, as a lifestyle, as well as my marriage. But let me tell you, the difference for me was to date God's way and to have a God-centered marriage. I'm telling you, it is definitely going to make a difference. Now, let's talk a little bit about how to know when you should let him go, right? Because sometimes it can be very tempting to hold on to a man until your future husband comes. Sometimes it can be very tempting to say, oh, he's good for right now, for my needs. Sometimes it's very tempting to say, like, oh, I'm going to just see how things go. I know I've saw 1 to 2 different red flags, but I'm going to keep him for a little bit, and, he can stick around. I want to encourage you that there is a time to entertain a man, and there is a time when you should let him go, right? So, number 1, when should you let a man go? That is when you know that he is not what God would want for you. Even if you feel like, oh, I can deal with this or I can deal with that, let me tell you, like, when you date God's way, it's going to make a world of a difference. So if you don't feel like God will be pleased, because God wants what's very best for you. So if he isn't going to provide you with the best, how can you expect to experience the best? And not to say that you won't have your challenges, not to say that you won't have your disagreements, because you will. But if he is not the very best that you know that God would send to you, honey, it is time to let him go. And if you are in a relationship, I am not encouraging you to break up with the man. I'm just sharing with you, if you are dating a man and you know that he is not the very best in the sense of everything that you have on your list, all the qualities that you desire, if it is not 80% of what is on your list, because when God sends him, he is going to be that more a bag of chips with the cherry on top, okay? Right? So, number 2 is that you are not able to operate in your femininity. You feel like, oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to do that. Oh, I have to be in charge of this. And it feels like you're steering the dating experience. It feels like you're pouring into him and he isn't giving you anything. That is when you should know that it is time for you to let him go. If you cannot operate in your femininity, if you can't be soft, gentle, nurturing, and for you to feel like you are a woman in the dating experience or in the relationship, and if you feel like you're the head of the relationship, listen, okay? It could be time for you to let him go. Because as a woman, it's just so important for you to have a space where you can be soft, you can be feminine, you can be gentle, and you can show up as the woman and to be cherished. To be cherished. It is so important for every woman to feel like she is cherished by a potential suitor. If you don't feel like you're being cherished, if you feel like you are being taken for granted, that's a problem. You want to date a man where you feel like he gets you, you get him. You feel like he respects you, he respects your boundaries. He is truly interested getting to know you. And you feel like, wow, like I have not experienced this before, or it's been a very long time since I've been able to experience a man who wants to treat me right. Because if he does not know how to treat you, you are going to feel like I need to put more to this dating experience than him. And that's not what you want. You want a dating experience where it's a two-way dating experience. Matter of fact, where you feel like he can lead you, he can guide you, and hopefully God is involved in this dating experience. Hopefully he's a praying man. Hopefully he knows how to treat you right with good intentions, and he is a man of integrity, okay? And number 3 is, you know when you should let go, when you feel like you are forcing yourself to like him. You are forcing yourself to go out on a date with him, and it's not because you're tired. It's because you see something or you feel something that you know isn't right, and you just feel like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just do this because he's good for right now. So if you feel like you are forcing yourself on a man, it's time to let go. When you date a man where it feels like there is a connection, there is a compatibility, there is a chemistry, there is something special, there is a spark within you, and it's not your hormones. It's not you feeling sexually aroused. It's not that. It's a special spark that you feel like, wow, this is a good man. Wow, I can see myself dating this man and being courted by him and being pursued by him. And when it comes to, feeling like you have to force yourself on a man, that doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel good at all. And you would be operating in masculinity, if anything, because you feel like I have to take charge. Instead of you just flowing in your femininity, being soft, being gentle, being nurturing, being a good support to him, to a man who knows what he wants to do with his life, who knows his dating intentions with you, and who knows how to communicate those dating intentions with you. So if you feel like you need to force yourself on a man, that is a problem. If anything, you should feel a special spark. You should feel beyond butterflies in your stomach. You should feel a connectivity that is undeniable. So when you date a marriage-minded man, okay, like conversations just flow. The way you feel about him, they flow. God approves, and it feels good being around a upright integrity man, a man of good character, good morals, who wants to treat you right, who knows how to take you out on dates, who knows how to plan dates, and who pays attention to you, okay? Because every woman loves a man who knows how to pay attention even to the smallest of details. Because when a man is interested in you, when a man loves you, when a man wants to get to know you, okay, he is going to pay attention to the smallest of details. And he is going to let you know, I've been watching, I've been listening, and here I am. He's going to show up. He is going to show up for you. Not only that, one of the number one things that some single ladies talk to me about is not being mentally stimulated, not really feeling an emotion, like in the sense of beyond like. These are some of the challenges that they share with me. So, as a woman who is being pursued by a marriage-minded man, it's going to be so important for you to be mentally stimulated by him, by having conversations where you can talk about your interests, where you can talk about any and everything, and you do not feel limited to only talk about certain things. Like, the conversations are so easy where you can talk with him for hours. Now, I will say that I encourage ladies to only give a man a certain amount of time, because you want the heart to grow fonder, but also too, you just want him to know that you have boundaries, yet you are still excited to get to know him and spend time with him as time permits. But you don't want to give him so much of your time where you just give him access to all of your life, because you still need to have your me time. You still need to do things for yourself. Getting back to the mental stimulation, again, every woman wants to be mentally stimulated by a man who is pursuing her, where it just feels like a breath of fresh air talking with him. This is another one, how you know you should be dating him. And things just are adding up. And you really can't find anything wrong with him. And you don't have any alarms within your heart. God isn't telling you, oh no, don't give this man your time. He's not telling you any of that. Like, you feel such a peace dating him. being with him, allowing him to be in your space, allowing him to be in your presence, because it feels so, so good. So I hope that this message is uplifting, and I have given you some things to think about, and I have been able to give you clarity when it comes to dating, positioning yourself as a wife, and when to know you should date a man and when you should let go, because later for the days of you wasting your time, your energy, your effort, and giving the wrong man your attention because you want to date a man who has integrity, who is loving, who is respectable, who you feel compatible with, and it goes beyond the chemistry aspect of dating. So my name is Erica, and I'm Coach Honeylove. If you are interested in joining Honeylove Dating Academy, please click the website below and join Honeylove Dating Academy. We meet every second and fourth Tuesday of each month, and we have a really good time, and we have girl chat, and I teach the masterclass, and I allow you to ask questions within the master classes, and we again have a really good time. So put in the comment section what you liked about today's message. Like, what stuck out with you? What inspired you? What uplifted you? And what you are going to do different? I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.